Ah well, all's fair in love and war. I guess you can't win them all, can you? Hang on a minute, look at this. Look at this. 1 for 18 in last place, level 50. Come on, you can't be that bad. And then 30 for 5 in first place. Listen, I've done my homework, I've done my research, I checked them out, and they've seemed to do that thing where they keep their friends unavailable for everybody to see because they know exactly what they're going to do. They obviously do this all the time. And I can guarantee you that I looked absolutely everywhere for these chuffers and couldn't find them because they'd found some secret special little place that I didn't know about to, you know, get into close proximity with each other and look into each other's eyes lovingly and flick their little dildo-shaped tactical insertions and kill each other with headshots to the mouth. Oh man, these guys piss me off. You know, this game is what, 6 years old, 5, 6 years old, and people are still boosting in it? Come on. I mean, I gave them a good run for their money and I dropped into this game very late, but it wasn't to be done. I kind of gave him an offer that I was hoping he wouldn't be able to refuse and put another booster on his team, you know, to initially spoil their party by C4ing them constantly. But he must have seen through me. He's probably had a few of these offers, and I think these boosters, it's like criminals. They stick to their own, don't they? You know, they stick with familiarity. Don't get anybody else in the crew who's an outsider because they could fuck things up. And that's exactly what I would have done. I would have completely ruined his day. That was the full intention. So, never mind, we'll get them another day. But I do get some retribution on this game in the form of a nuke. A nice little nuclear strike to drop on their heads. And the sad thing is they're both, you know, I know it's all spoilers and shit like that, but they both end up pissing off before I call the thing in. So I don't know whether they left right at the very end, but, you know, it had to be done. It simply had to be done. And I had a good time. This was last night. This was recorded last night. I played some Call of Duty Ghosts. I've got to be honest, I'm kind of getting sick and tired of getting bitten by Riley. That's the one thing that is stopping me from playing that game now. You know, I'm getting used to everything else. You know, thermal, whatever. You know, snipers, whatever. Even the ghillies, the yetis, I'm getting used to them. It's all just kind of coming hand in hand. It's part and parcel of what is called, you know, what Call of Duty Ghosts is all about, and I'm getting used to that. But Riley, I just can't get used to him, and I will tell you why. I'm twitchy. I'm very twitchy, and I tend to jump out of my fucking skin. And if I come around a corner and I don't know, he's just there, isn't he? He's just always there. You never seem to get a chance to shoot at him. It's very rare you ever get a run-up or get him running up at you. He always seems to come around a corner. And what Riley does, his little inbuilt skill, is that when he charges towards his prey, he sticks very close to the edges of the map, or the, you know, the certain area that he's in. And of course, when you're coming around a corner, your peripheral vision tells you that he's not there, and then all of a sudden, he bites you. And you know, when you're wearing Turtle Beaches, I wear Turtle Beaches. I got some PX22s, and he frightens the shit out of me. Ever since the sound horn's been reduced in this game, I have to, like, you know, crank the volume up a little bit because it's quite a quiet game, and the only thing that makes me jump is Riley. So yeah, pissing me off a little bit, and I've decided to drop on some Modern Warfare 2, and I had about 7 games, and I got 3 nukes in free-for-all, so I'm really happy with that. But just going off yesterday's video, I'm feeling a lot better today. I'm feeling so much better. I'm still a little bit croaky, you know, it's still there. It was quite bad last night. But do you know what? Today I'm just happy to be alive, and I'm going to tell you why. This is a bit of a daft story, and it frightened the life out of me. I simply thought I was going to spend the next 2 weeks in hospital on a drip, fighting for my life, because we were due to go out and spend some time with some friends and have a few drinks and have a meal out, you know, take the kids out, let the kids play together. Bada bing. And my wife came back from shopping. I had a bit of rest because I was working the night before, and she bought all the shopping in and threw the order at me. Put that shopping away or I'll kick your ass. So I did, because I didn't want an ass kicking. And I opened up the fridge, and we've only got one of these little fridges, you know, just to paint a scenario so you get an idea of what's going on. You cram it full of food, and you got a child, and they eat like fucking dustbins, and it's hard to get all the food packed in. So I kind of compacted it all in as best as I could. And I was hungry because I hadn't long woke up, and I found this open pack of the, you know, the cocktail sausages you get at the every funeral you go to. There's like these cocktail sausages and vol au vents, and every marriage you go to, there's cocktail sausages and vol au vents. Well, these little mini cocktail sausages were in the fridge, and I looked and I thought, oh yeah, you know, quite easy, you know, nothing to be cooked, prepared. Just take them out of the pack and put them in your mouth and crack on. And I did that. I had I think I had 2 or 3 of them, and I chewed away. And then all of a sudden I had a bit of a thought, and I thought, hang on, I seem to remember 2.5 weeks ago I'd had a few drinks and I was getting hungry. I wanted a late night snack. I was like, I got to do a sandwich, but you don't really care what you put on the sandwich. And I think I made a ham, gherkin, pickled garlic clove, salami, and cocktail sausage sandwich lathered in mayonnaise. And at the time, it was Michelin star quality, but realistically, it's shit. And I was thinking that was about 2.5 weeks ago, I'm sure it was. So I had to look at the packet to see what the use-by date was. And these sausages were up on the 26th of January. And I was like, fuck. I felt I had an instant wave of sickness and fear and hotness come over me, and I thought, I'm going to die, you know? And the thing is with me, I've got no, I know it's not very nice, I've got no gag reflex, I can't be sick, I can't physically be sick, I find it really difficult. So it's not like some people can just go, oh, that's it, I'll get rid of that, job done. I was just thinking, these are going to pass through my system, and I'm dead by the morning. I'm dead. I'm gone. I'm history. I'm smoked. And I spent my entire evening just sitting there waiting for the moments of me just kicking in with illness. But strangely enough, it didn't happen. So, yeah, I simply must have an iron stomach. Why is that? 2.5 weeks out of date. Sausages that had been opened and must have been open for about a week. And I'm feeling better today. In fact, I'm feeling on top of the world. So it seems the natural penicillin has done its job. It's got rid of my cough and it's made me feel like $1 million. But don't try this at home. That's my recommendation. So yeah, there's the gameplay gone, guys. Hope you enjoyed the nuke. Have a good weekend and I'll speak to you soon. Apocalypse done.
Tryhards always raging, then they get to fussing. They always rage quit, and then they start cussing. I'm trolling online, but I ain't saying nothing. Cause if I'm in your game, then I'm booster busting.